Stop number 26 in the Castrol GTX Cup Series brings us to Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia, as we're here today for the final nighttime short track race. I should say this is actually the next to the last nighttime race of the season, because we'll be heading to another 2 races from now at Charlotte. But today we're at Martinsville for the running of the Goody's Body Paint 500. We're set for 75 laps of racing on this 0.526 mile racetrack, about shaped like a paperclip, let's put it that way. If you look overhead, it kind of does look like a paperclip. Anyway, starting lineup for today's running event here on the pole at 91 miles an hour is Jessica Shelton, the number 94 McDonald's Mac-Tonite Ford. She's flanked by car number 26, another Ford, the Quaker State Ford of Daniel Voiles on the outside of the racetrack. Second row, Cole Deaver, GM Goodwin Chevrolet, car number 3. He's alongside Levi McIntyre, number 99, the XI Batteries SKF Ford. Third row has Kyle Matthews, number 25, the Kodiak Chevrolet, and number 6, Austin Reed, the Valvoline Ford, starting in P6 in today's race. Going to row number 4, the guy going for the Martinsville sweep this season, Dylan Young, the number 2 Miller Lite Ford. He won the springtime race. He won the day race here. See if he can pick up a nighttime victory here. Alongside of him is Joshua Osborne, number 45, the Spree prepaid phone card Chevrolet. Going to row number 5, it's number 42, the Texaco Haviland Ford of Trent Dunham, and number 70, the Rumpel Furniture AC Spark Plugs Chevrolet of Daniel Bouchard. Next row down has car number 24, Charles Sanford, the DuPont Chevrolet, and number 16, Gabby Conklin, the Family Channel Ford. Next row down has number 28, Texaco Haviland Ford of Keith Batson, and number 11, it is Benjamin Miles in the FedEx Freight Toyota. Next row down is a pair of Toyotas, number 18, Nathan Ormond in the Interstate Batteries Machine, and number 22, the Caterpillar Toyota of Dylan Poteet. Next row down has number 17, Jesse Turner, winner of the Southern 500 at Darlington, the Western Auto Chevrolet, and number 66, the Phillips 66 Trop Arctic Toyota of Eric Monaco. Going to the next row down is number 44, Alex Miller in the Hot Wheels Chevrolet, and number 43, Mike Becker in the STP Chevrolet. Next row down is number 1. It is Stephen Colon, the Mopar Dodge, winner of the first stop at Pocono this season, and he'll be alongside Laura Chung, who won 2 races back at Richmond. Next row down has number 34, James Sykes, and number 30, Roberto Crown Jr., a pair of yellow cars in that one a Ford and the other a Chevrolet. Next row down is Nathan Hudson, number 15, and number 29, Zachary Fitzwater, 2-time winner season so far. Next row down has Allison Rain in number 14, the HighPoint.com Ford. She is flanked by number 5, the Nation's Guard Chevrolet of Phil Parker. Next row down is number 10, the Tide Ford of Kat Batson. Flanked by Kat is number 88, Matt McIntyre, the Nationwide Insurance, I should say, Chevrolet. Next row down is Seth Cohen, number 98, the Haas Automation Ford, and number 48, Caleb Fogler, the Lowe's Chevrolet. Next row down has number 20, Rafaela Duke, who won the Daytona 500 this season, number 20, Home Depot Chevrolet, and Ryan Butcher, number 71, the Lifebuoy Chevrolet. Next row down has number 21, Quentin Moore, the points leader coming into this event, looking to bust out this pack from way out back, number 21, Citgo Ford. Beside Quentin will be number 33, Harrison Ponder, the Skull Bandit Chevrolet. Next row down is Cody McGurk, 68, the Country Time Lemonade Ford, and number 4, William Brock, the Kodak Film Chevrolet. And it's number 8, Amanda Evans, the Budweiser Chevrolet, and number 12, Zach Winkle, the Alltel Ford. And starting shotgun is number 7, JT Bryant, as their Xanafuse Ford, car number 7. So the command is about to be given the fire the engines here for the running of the Goody's Body Paint 500 here at Martinsville.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
That should be ladies and gentlemen, start your engines, because we have a lady on the pole for this race here today. But command's been given the fire the engines as we're set for racing here today at Martinsville. 75 laps of action on here today. Here's as the field line rolls around for the pace up. We'll be back for the start of the race right after this. Pace car is about to duck off on the pit road here as the field lined up 2x2 formation. Speeds upwards of about between 90 to 95 miles an hour here at Martinsville Speedway. As they round turn number 4, Jessica Shelton leads them down. A pair of Fords. Here on the front row for this race here today, green flag flies. We are underway in the Goody Spy Pain 500 at Martinsville. Off the 4 turn they come here. Jessica Shelton leads the first lap of this race here. Battle for second between Daniel Voiles in 26 and Cole Deaver in the 3. As they come through turns number 1 and 2. In car cameras today, Jessica Shelton, one of our 3 cameras in today's race here. And look at Daniel Voiles to the low side looking for the lead. On Jessica Shelton and come off turn number 4. Side by side, who leads this lap here between those 2 cars? It's going to be Shelton by about a half a car. As I mentioned, Shelton is one of our 3 in-car cameras, along also with Dylan Young and Keith Batson. Speaking of Dylan Young here, he moves inside of Austin Reed for position here. That is for the as for 6th position between the 2 and the 6 cars. Trent Dunham behind him in 42 and Joshua Osborne in 45. Off in the turn number 1 they go here. Now Dylan moves inside of Kyle Matthews for position. That is for 5th. Cole Deaver way up on the high side of the racetrack coming off the 4th corner here at Martinsville as he tries to keep 3rd position away from Levi McIntyre, the 99 machine. McIntyre, a 3-time winner this season so far. He won at Darlington. The first race at Darlington, I should say. He also won at Riverside and the second race at Talladega. And looks like we're under caution. And problems for the Daniel Voiles car. Problems for car number 26. He is stalled on the track here, and caution flag flies for the first time here today. Tough break for Voiles, who started 2nd in today's race and looked like he had high hopes for a good finish, and maybe possibly a shot of his first ever victory. And then all goes to shambles for car number 26, the Quaker State Ford. And it's the first caution flag of the day here at Martinsville Speedway. Take a look at what happened. He was running in 2nd position there. Cole Deaver stalking him in hot pursuit right there. And then Voiles, actually it was on the next lap when this happens actually as well too. As we were on lap number 6 of this race here when this happened here. Voiles trying to push his car to try to catch Jessica Shelton, but then all of a sudden, going into turn number 3, the engine just goes away on car number 26 here. The car suddenly loses power. And you see the yellow flag being brought out there. The leader had not taken it yet at that time. And Voiles now finally on the racetrack here, but he is crawling along slowly. And several cars being put a lap down here. There's the Voiles there. I don't know if he's sure where he's at. There's the Ryan Butcher and a lot of the cars going right by him. There's several cars actually getting their laps back. Some of the cars got to track the lap down, but they're being told to drive around the pace car to get their laps back. They lost unintentionally. So with that said here, Jessica Shelton is your leader here at Martinsville. Lap number 10. We'll be back for the restart right after this. Just as you rejoin us, green flag's about to fly here. The 12 and 26 cars are now a lap down in this race here. That's Zach Winkle and Daniel Voiles. Voiles running the same pack of cars he was running earlier here, except now he's not on the lead lap in this race here. Shelton is your leader. Second is Cole Deaver. Third is Austin Reed. Fourth position, I should say, is Dylan Young. And 5th is Trent Dunham. One of the cars that was running in this pack of cars here some of the cars that actually was running with these like a pack of cars here, Levi McIntyre and Kyle Matthews, both those cars actually made pit stops under caution flag, and it dropped them back out of the top 5 here. Matthews dropped down to the 33rd position here. McIntyre to 32nd. So both those drivers trying to gain back what they lost. As we have now 15 laps in the books and 60 laps remaining in this race here. It's Shelton, Deaver, and Reed still the top 3 positions here. The 2 cars, the 26 and the 12, are both not on the lead lap here. Winkle running in 41st position, Boyles running in 40th. Dylan Young right now running in the 4th position, car number 2, the Miller Lite Ford, as you jump on board with Dylan Young. Trying to get by Voiles in the 26 machine here, trying to get himself back in, trying to get himself right there with the leaders here. He's got 2 lap cars ahead of him. Lap speeds here, as we mentioned, over 90 miles an hour here at Martinsville Speedway. In the next to the last short track race of the season, the final short track race of the season will actually be next on the tour when these cars hit North Wilkesboro for the Tyson Holly Farms 400, which is next on the tour. Race number 27, then race number 28 will be at Charlotte, the Melliella 500. Race 29 will be the AC Delco 400 at Rockingham. Then race 30 will be at Phoenix, the Subway 500, and then race 31, the season finale, will be at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Napa Auto Parts 500. So that's your remaining races in the road to the Castrol GTX Cup Series Championship for season 32 as they come through turns number 1 and 2 right now. Again, Dylan Young riding that back over the 26 machine. Top 3 cars have still no change yet on these machines here. And here comes Daniel Voiles, or I should say Daniel Bouchard, excuse me, car number 70 to the low side. He is in 6th position right now, trying to get past Trent Dunham for 5th. Joshua Osborne's behind him in 7th position. 8th is Charles Sanford. 9th is Gabby Conklin, and Benjamin Miles right now runs in 10th position. Dylan Poteet's 11th. 12th is Keith Batson. 13th is Nathan Orman. Eric Monaco's 14th. 15th is Mike Becker. 16th is Jesse Turner. 17th is Laura Chung. A little bit of a side dent on the number 01 machine. There's a good look at it right there. She's 17th. 18th is Alex Miller. 19th is Stephen Colon. And Roberto Crown Jr. runs right now in 20th. There's Benjamin Miles now tries to go inside of Gabby Conklin for 9th position. Gabby forces right on number 16 machine and keeps position for the time being. Now Benjamin's the one who goes up the track here. Poteet looks to the low side coming off turn number 4. Doesn't quite get there here, and he doesn't quite get to Benjamin that time by coming off turn number 2. Saw the speed right there for Benjamin, 118 miles an hour heading off into turn number 3, and gets it down about let's see how fast they go through. Let's see, 116 miles an hour into turn number 1, and down about 67 miles an hour in the middle of turn number 2. There's the 119 miles an hour going into turn number 3. See how fast he goes through turns 3 and 4. About 68 miles an hour in the middle of 3 and 4. So I kind of figured they were doing a little bit under 70 miles an hour heading through the turns here at Martinsville Speedway. So as we watch Voiles and Winkle go at it right here. Winkle is actually 2 laps down. Voiles is 1 lap down in this race here. But boy, you know Daniel Voiles has got to be thinking what might have been here, because he was running 2nd position before whatever problems that happened on the 26 machine fell victim But you see right now he gets by the 12 machine right here as Foils now tries to get himself back up in the position and trying to get himself back on the lead lap and try to catch a caution flag. Because there's no free passes in our competition. People might want to understand this. There's no free passes or the Lucky Dog Award in our competition here. Not in my league, not in Seth's or Charles's or Dylan's or Levi's, any of them. They have to earn their lap back the hard way and trying to pass the leader and get a caution flag. Cole Deaver, car number 3, the GM Government Chevrolet. His only win this season came at North Wilkesboro. The track we mentioned was going to be next on the tour for the Holly Farms 400. He won the first Union 400 at Wilkesboro this season. So far, it's been his only win so far in season 32 in the GM Government Chevrolet. But he has still been consistent this season points wise as well too. Austin Reed having his best run of the season so far, running in 3rd position right now in car number 6, the Valvoline Ford. Dylan Young still 4th, 5th is still Dunham. Back top 10 still remains the same here. As you see the top 20 right now. James Sykes is 21st position. 22nd is Zachary Fitzwater. 23rd right now is Nathan Hudson. 24th is Matt McIntyre. Quentin Moore has moved into 25th position in car number 21. So he's gained a few spots since the drop of the green flag. Rafael LeDuc is running in 26th position. 27th is Allison Rain. 28th is Kat Batson. Phil Parker's 29th. Seth Cole runs 30th. Caleb Fogler 31st. Kyle Matthews 32nd. 33rd is Levi McIntyre. 34th is Cody McGurk. 35th is Ryan Butcher. Then William Brock, Amanda Evans, JT Bryant, and Harrison Ponder. That's the rest of the lead lap cars right now in today's race there. But they're all chasing this lady, Jessica Shelton, the number 94 McDonald's Mac Tonight Ford. And you get to go on board with Jessica Shelton now as see how she drives around Martinsville Speedway. 120 miles an hour into turn number 1. Turn number 3 goes Shelton, and down about 64 miles an hour in the middle of turns 3 and 4. So on the RPM, so the tachometer right there, 9,100 RPMs for the going into turn number 1. And there's see right there about 9,300 RPMs going into turn number 3, down about 64 miles an hour again through turn number 3 and 4. And up to about 117 miles an hour into turn number 1. So her last lap 91.306 miles an hour. Her fastest lap so far 93.29 miles an hour, and in fact Shelton does have the fastest lap race so far with that 93.29 mile an hour run. Then Cody McGurk second fastest lap, then Daniel Voiles third fastest lap, then Harrison Ponder, Dylan Young, Austin Reed, James Sykes, Daniel Bouchard, Zach Winkle, and Seth Cole has the top 10 fastest laps of the race so far here in the Goody Spotty Fame 500 here. Cole Deaver trying to close up a little bit on Jessica Shelton. See what the margin is this time by between the front two cars. 7/10 of a second right now between the 94 and 3 machines. Austin Reed losing a little bit of ground. He's in 3rd position right now, still about 2 seconds back of the leader. Austin, I think right now is going to be happy with anything of a top 5 finish right now. Top 5 or top 10 he'll be happy with for sure, seeing his results this season so far. And Trent Dunham has now gotten by Dylan Young for 4th position as the number 42 car continues to move his way up the field. Trent quietly having a pretty good solid season so far in the Texaco Haviland 42. Trying to get by the lap car of Zach Winkle, who is 2 laps down right now in the Alltel Ford. Young is running in 5th position, and Bouchard is 6th. A battle between the two of the Rainbow cars running in 7th and 8th. That's Joshua Osborne in 45. There he is, the Adam Petty cars, and the Jeff Gordon cars behind him. Charles Sanford, number 24 DuPont Chevrolet, running in 8th position. Charles winner at the Winston 500 at Talladega and the Pepsi 400 at Daytona this season. He's won, so both those wins have come on the plate tracks, but he's looking for his first non-plate win this season. Whether that'll come this season or not, though, who's to say? But as we watch Gabby Conklin try to get by, try to keep ahead of Benjamin Miles now. Miles looks to the inside going into turn number 1. And not quite enough right now. Not quite enough steam out of that FedEx Toyota to try to get by the Family Channel Ford. Up ahead, there is Conklin in 16, running right now in 9th position. Gabby, by the way, one of Quentin Moore's drivers in the field right there, as Quentin has picked his team to run for Q-Man Motorsports. Take a look at see where everybody else is running at right now here. See if I can see where you're at in this field here. Matt McIntyre up right there in 24th position in the 88 car. 21 car Quentin Moore is still running 25th, and Rafael LeDuc in 26th position. So no positions being exchanged at this point right now here at Martinsville Speedway here as we're past halfway home in this race here. As we're about to complete the 47th lap of this race here, we'll have now 28 to go here at Martinsville Speedway. Jessica Shelton continues to lead over Cole Deaver. We're noticing the interval starting to close up right now between the front two cars. Or Cole Deaver making a run at the 94 for the top spot now. 34 hundredths of a second between the front two cars now. It was about 7/10 of a second about a couple of laps ago. So Deaver close up to this time by. I say it's going to be a little bit closer to that time by. And it is at 26 hundredths of a second. So Cole Deaver is now starting to pour on the juice on at number 3 Goodwrench Chevrolet. We always say that Deaver's biggest idol in all racing was Dale Earnhardt, which is, of course, explained why he drives the Dale Earnhardt colors every series he runs in our competition, though, and trying to intimidate Jessica Shelton. But there's one thing Jessica Shelton never is intimidated by anyone. And neither is Cole Deaver, so those two are about even as far as that's concerned. Here, Deaver's one of those drivers who wants to win races, but then again, so is Shelton. So 53 hundredths of a second between the front two cars, actually 34 hundredths of a second between the front two cars. I should say we're almost 53 laps into the event, and we're closing up on 22 to go here at Martinsville Speedway. As the battle between those two cars here, and I tell you, if they catch lap traffic, though, the battle's really gonna intensify between these those two cars. There's Austin Reed still running in 3rd position here. Daniel Boyles again is not on the lead lap. He's in 40th position right now in the 26 Quicker State Ford. Trent Dunham in 4th position. Zach Winkle is giving his teammate Dylan Young fits right now. Young is 5th position, whereas Winkle is 2 laps down in 41st in the Altel Ford. And here comes Bouchard to the low side in number 70 as he goes to the low side as he tries to take the JD McDuffie colors up another spot. These two cars right there, a little over 4 seconds back of the leader here. 4.3 for Young, 4.7 for Bouchard. Osborne still 7th, 8th is still Sanford, 9th is still Conklin, but here comes Benjamin Miles still trying to get around a 16 car for 9th position, but now Conklin now close up in the back of Sanford for 8th. So 3-car battle for the 8th position between the 24, 16, and 11 cars, 3 different makes, so Chevy, Ford, and Toyota. which make up the bulk of the field right here. 2 Dodges in the field. That's Trent Dunham and Stephen Colon. They right now run in 4th and 19th right now. That's where the Dodgers run right now here in this race so far. Coming off turn number 4, about to complete the 58th lap here. We're down to 17 to go. Does Cole Deaver have anything for Jessica Shelton? Nobody has so far, though. In this race, though, she started from the poles, led every lap so far. Deaver drives in hard in turn number 3 that time. So come on turn number 4. See what the margin is this time by. 4,300 the last time by. Margin this time by, it is now 3,300 here. Deaver chopped it off a 10th that time by. Martinsville has seen some plenty insane finishes here. There's not here. There's not a lot of. We haven't had a lot of insane finishes at Martinsville though. But if Deaver and Shelton go at it, there we may see one here. And Deaver lost that 10th he gained that time by 4,300 now between the front 2. So Deaver's kind of trying to experiment here. He's dropped back, he's moved up, he's gone high, he's gone low. And I think Deaver's trying to find any weakness out of that 94 car right now, which there seems to be none at this point, though. As we mentioned, neither of these two drivers are really intimidated. Ooh, Deaver dropped the over 10th that time by here, 2,700 that time by. But I think he's going to lose a little bit coming off that second turn right now. And they are not far behind. Again, the lap traffic here led by, tailed by Harrison Ponder. Averaging so far a little over 82 miles an hour here at Martinsville Speedway as we're coming up to complete the 63rd lap of this race. We are closing up on 10 laps remaining here today as they come into turn number 1 right now. Half a second now between the front 2 cars. Take a look and see if there's any battling going on here. Benjamin Miles now trying to get around Charles Sanders. Sanders now on the high side here. Gabby Conklin's gone by him. Now Benjamin Miles goes by him. That's for 10th. That's for 9th position. Between the 24 and the 11 cars here, and Dylan Poteet trying to figure out who he wants to go with. Is he going to go with Charles or is he going to go with Benjamin? I don't know, but. And now Miles now goes inside of Conklin, the driver he's trying to get. He's been trying to get past for the last half of the race. Through turns number 3 and 4, they come here. Now Osborne tries to get by Daniel Bouchard in the 70 car. Some good battles on the racetrack right now within the top 10 positions here. And Stanford got way up high here, trying to stay ahead of the 11 car, but boy, this is getting really good right here. Stanford may have found some bite on the high side of the racetrack here, but the high side is not the ideal place to run at Martinsville for sure. And now Keith Batson gives Dylan Poteet a little bit of a bump right there and move Keith maybe up a spot in the 28 car, but Poteet floors the throttle on that Toyota and says, "No way, Keith." Keith Batson, of course, a real-time short track racer himself. They're up in his native state of Maine. And boy, Samper was way up the track right that time by in a 24 car there, but he again tries to stay ahead of the 11 car and tries to pass the 16 car as well, too, to try to get 2 spots on the outside. I thought you can't do that at Martinsville. Man, oh man. Meantime, Batson still tries to get by Poteet here in the 22 car, and he again pulls ahead there in the 22 machine. I tell you what, if you had told me somewhere along the line the outside lane was going to be the lane of choice at Martinsville, I would have said you're crazy. Oh my goodness. But Batson is trying to get himself into the top 10 right now here. In the meantime, the front 2 cars is still close between the front 2 machines here. As we now have 70 laps in the books and we have 5 to go now. Jessica Shelton trying to hold on, and Stephen Cologne's off the pace in that number 1 car. He was running in 19th position. He's now dropped to 40th right now. I'm sure Cologne's plenty frustrated over that right now. Driving the number 1 Mopar Dodge Challenger. But a half a second right now between the front two cars. It's now 0.6 of a second between the front two machines right now. I tell you what, Cole Deaver's tried anything in the world to try to close up and pass Jessica Shelton though. But if Shelton's anything driving wise, she is smooth, and that's pretty much the key factor in any track that we go to on the circuit here. 3,600 from now, and boy, Deaver chopped it in half that time by the margin. I think we're fixing for a shootout here. Deaver goes low on the track here through turns number 3 and 4. I think we may be fixing for a shootout here, possibly here. 2 to go. It's now 0.3 of a second between the front two now. Deaver goes low. Shelton stays high. We've seen a few laps ago among these lap cars here, among the cars behind them, how critical that high side is here as they come out the fourth turn here. The white flag displays for Jessica Shelton. She won earlier this season in the Boot City 500 at Bristol, the day race at Bristol. Deaver again tries to close up here. He's going to make one last-ditch charge, but I don't think it's going to work here. Through turns number 3 and 4, Deaver closes up. It's not going to work for him. Off turn number 4, Jessica Shelton wins the Goody Body Paint 500 at Martinsville. It is Shelton's second victory of the season in the number 94 McDonald's Ford. Mac tonight shines the night here today on this 0.526 mile racetrack. See Dylan Poteet on the outside there trying to go across the start finish line. He will do so. He finishes 13th in today's race. But boy, Jessica Shelton from the pole to the podium leads every lap in the race and just dominates the day here on this famed 0.526 mile oval. Give you the rest of the finishing order here today. Cole Deaver comes home second. Austin Reed, how about him? He ends up finishing third in today's race. Fourth will go to Trent Dunham. Dylan Young fifth. Joshua Osborne picked up a couple spots. He ends up finishing sixth. Daniel Bouchard seventh. Eighth will go to Charles Sanford. Gabby Conklin ninth. And Benjamin Miles will finish in 10th position. 11th will go to Keith Batson. 12th, Eric Monaco. Dylan Poteet 13th, as we mentioned. Nathan Orman with a 14th place finish here today. 15th to Jesse Turner. 16th to Mike Becker. 17th, Alex Miller. Laura Chung 18th. 19th, Roberto Crown Jr. A good day for that 30 team. And 20th will go to James Sykes in the Michael McDowell cars. 21st will go to Zachary Fitzwater. 22nd will be Nathan Hudson, Matt McIntyre, Rafael Leduc, Quentin Moore, the top 25. The points leader, he's going to lose a little bit of points here coming out of this race at Martinsville, as he was 108 points ahead of the leader coming into this event here today. And Dylan Young finished up in the top 10, so that may be bad news for the number 21 team here, possibly. We'll see. Kat Batson, Allison Rain, Seth Cole, Kyle Matthews have moved to 29th, and Phil Parker ends up finishing 30th. Caleb Vogler, Levi McIntyre, another guy who made an unscheduled stop under caution. He and Matthews both. And they were up in the top. They started up in the top 5, and they unfortunately paid the price for that. Though McIntyre ends up 32nd in today's race here. Then Cody McGurk, William Brock, Brian Butcher, Amanda Evans, J.T. Bryant, Harrison Ponder was the last of the lead lap cars in 38th position. Then Daniel Voiles 39th, Stephen Colon 40th, and Zach Winkle 41st positioners there. Daniel Voiles, you got to feel for him though. Started in second position, was running second when his car suffered problems, and he had to make a pit stop as well to under yellow. So, but nobody can catch Jessica Shelton today. Smooth as silk as she was at Martinsville, and paid off with she started from the pole at every lap here today, and wins here today. Average speed 83.765 miles an hour, and it's her second victory of the season. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on this channel. We got inner races, we got gaming videos, we got inner online videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA, Seth Cohen, desires to have for his channel. Be sure to check out Seth's Third Cell Cup Series, the main series on his channel. And if you want in on future seasons of Seth's series, then be sure to get with Seth, and he'll get you going. And also be sure to check out other two channels that does NNSCRA offline series. Those channels being X86753985AX, that's Dylan Young's channel, and the man who does the NNSCRA Spectrum Mobile Cup Series, and also also check out the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series on Thrash Maniac 99's channel. That's Levi McIntyre's channel, the man who does the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. And again, of course, subscribe to his channel for some cool stuff as well too, as well as Dylan's, and of course subscribe to this channel too for some best in the NNSCRA as well. So that will do here today at Martinsville Speedway. Here, congratulations once again to Jessica Shelton, the winner of the Goody Spotty Pain 500 at Martinsville. And for now, it's James Cole. This has been a production of the NNSCRA celebrating 10 years of offline racing at its best. We'll see you at Kentucky Speedway for the Meliella Racing Series Kentucky 300.